Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video we are going to start with the Great League Remix battles. And in my opinion, the Great League Remix is not that good. I think it's same repeated meta all over again, and fighters and Bastardon is like very common, and yeah, I'm not liking it, to be honest. And yeah, I think it's not that good. I would prefer to play in rather I would rather prefer to play in Open Great League rather than the Great League Remix. But we did few sets with it, and yeah, you'll see what happens. So today we are not doing the regular team composition because I am showcasing couple of teams, and I changed the order quite a bit. So yeah, without further delays, let's start with the battles and see how the battle goes. Picking up a decent lead in form of this Politoed, but in all, I think this favors Politoed because Politoed will be able to outspam to weather balls. And if we go, I think this was probably my first time using. This was my first battle in the Remix Cup, so I didn't know how this particular matchup goes. But later I realized that if you manage to land a sludge bomb, I think you would be able to win. And Toxicrow can survive one weather ball, so no need to shield up front because Politoed is very spammy, but the counter damage is really going to hurt it. And since I don't want to get hit with another weather ball, I just throw this mud bomb away. So definitely my recommendation, if you are facing Toxicrow up against if you are using Toxicrow up against Politoed, do charge up to Sludge Bomb. And the Toxicrow goes down, but we can come in with I come in with Registeel to get ahead on energy and probably look to farm down this Politoed. Let's see if we are able to do that without taking another weather ball. And fortunately we are able to do that. They might have been like very close to another one. In comes Vigoroth, which is definitely not good, but we will be able to do massive amount of damage with this Focus Blast. So Focus Blast almost takes out the Vigoroth, and in comes their Wigglytuff. So basically at this point the game is pretty much wrapped up because yeah, we have been, yeah, with Charmer in the lead. I think the double steel line really hurts. And probably I think this team did well for me, like only in the couple of matches, but later down the line I started getting fighters in the back, which basically demolished my team. So yeah, definitely not recommending to use this one. And moving on to the next match, picking up another Politoed lead. So I learned from my previous matchup that Politoed cannot just one shot with a cannot do massive amount of damage with weather ball. So hence I farmed all the way up to Sludge Bomb this time around, and the Politoed did not shield it that, and I did not shield. I expected it to be a weather ball, but it ends up being an earthquake which one shots the Toxicrow. I definitely was not expecting them to throw an earthquake. So yeah, not in a very favorable spot because then comes this Medicham, and really we don't have an answer for the Medicham in the back. And since we are not running Thunderbolt, the Rock Slide and Super Power both will be resisted. And I tried to catch on a potential Ice Punch there, but if it's a Para Punch, it's basically GG's, which indeed it is. So this basically is the game. We cannot do anything, and yeah, GG's. So that's what I was saying, that don't run double steal. And hence I switched to another team which I thought might end up being good, and this team was Medicham, Tentacruel and Registeel. So the thing about Tentacruel is that it has access to Poison Jab, which basically obliterates any charmers, and it will resist all the charge moves coming in from this Wigglytuff, because Ice Beam, Player of Foot both be resisted, and we are able to just Poison Jab them down, and probably wasted a lot of energy in the process, but it's okay because now we will be able to throw this Hydro Pump, which I was not expecting them to shield since it's a Registeel. Unfortunately we are not able to throw this last minute Acid Spray, and they come in with a Shadow Gardevoir, and we do have a Registeel of our own in the back for this thing. All we need to do is we need to get to 3 flash cannons to take them out, but Shadow Gardevoir, they are also with 2 shields, so it's not going to, it's basically I just need to make sure that I don't allow any additional charms in between. Fortunately they throw, and they most likely should not have thrown, because as soon as, yeah, if I'm not able to get rid of this Shadow Gardevoir, the Medicham will go down pretty quickly, especially since we are running Para Punch. And And yeah, at this point I was like pretty confident that I would be able to get, and I think the opponent was counting the lock-ons there, and yeah, they quit at the right time. So good job from my opponents and on counting the fast moves. So yeah, picking up a negative lead yet again, and I come in with Registeel because we do have the Tentacruel for that Whimsicott, and Tentacruel will be doing double super effective damage with that poison jabs. So now they come in with Obstagoon, and Obstagoon really needs to shield this Focus Blast because Focus Blast I think will one shot. So at this point, if it's a cross chop, it will be able to knock out the Registeel, but if it's a Night Slash, it's not. So my thought process in this matchup, especially in this matchup, was to let go of Registeel and come back in with Medicham and look to completely farm down this Obstagoon, because cross chop Night Slash would be Cross chop would be resisted, but Night Slash would be neutral. So we are able to completely farm down the Obstagoon, and in comes their Whimsicott. So Whimsicott will be taking some decent damage with that Psychic. So now I swap into Tentacruel, and they have a Scrafty in the back, and I think we do need to watch out for a couple of foul plays because those will be able to knock us out. So they bait us with a power punch, which is obviously not good. So I go for an acid spray bait, and if the opponent does not catch it, it's going to be really bad for us. So they fortunately shield the acid spray, which is really good for us because now we are not shielding this. Oh yeah, I remember why I don't shield this foul play, because now I can. I was not expecting this to throw to get to an acid spray, but yeah, it's fortunate that we are able to do that, because now I can come in with Medicham and look to completely farm down this Crafty. And since the Whimsicott did not get a farm, it will not get to a charge move, and we will be able to throw this Psychic. Probably could have been get away with a power punch perhaps, but yeah, just to be on the safe side, I went for Psychic. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up a positive lead, and this time also we are using the same team. So in comes the Sableye, and now I thought that the Sableye would be able to win this matchup up against the Registeel. Registeel would be able to win the matchup up against the Sableye, but since I took a lot of time to swap out, they were able to get ahead on energy of ours Medicham. So this is not really looking good because the Tentacruel really needs Tentacruel, although walls Registeel, but I am definitely expecting a Charmer to be in the back or something, at least that counters the fighting types. So they go for a foul play which knocks out our Registeel, and since we are even on shields, it's not really looking good, and definitely I cannot come in with Medicham. So yeah, not particularly a great situation to be in, because we definitely would want to reach to Hydro Pump, because this Sableye is putting in a lot of work for my opponent, and I definitely miscalculated or misplayed this one. So not really sure what I'm trying to do here, but perhaps trying to chip down the Sableye's health as much as possible to farm down it with Medicham. But the opponent swaps to Altaria, and at this point my only win condition was to bait with a power punch and potentially land a Psychic. So since they did not shield the power punch, so it's basically GG's for us. So yeah, good games. Moving on to the next one, picking up another positive lead in the form of this Empoleon, and now the opponent swaps into Mandibuzz. And unlike Sableye, Mandibuzz really is a defense weighted Pokemon, so it will not hit hard as much as Sableye did. So going for this Flash Cannon did some decent amount of damage. So these foul plays are not going to hurt as much as the Sableye did. So we go for I think since the lock-ons not really do that much damage, but eventually it adds up because on a Sableye those were resisted. So going for Flash Cannon straight away, there is no point in going for the Focus Blast, and they end up shielding the Flash Cannon. So I ended up also returning a shield because I want to keep that Empoleon matchup, because Tentacruel will just get walled by that thing. So we can survive the foul play at this range, and since Snarl cannot do a lot of damage, we will be able to land this Flash Cannon. So let's see if the opponent decides to shield. If they decide to shield, I am letting go of the Registeel. or there was no other option besides letting it go. It's almost as 0 health. So let's see what do they come back in with. They come back in with Empoleon, and Waterfall is down now. I can come in with Medicham, and since they are taking their sweet time to switch out of this matchup, this probably indicates me that they have something weak to Medicham in the back. Maybe they're running ABA line, but not really sure. So we can survive on Drill Peck. So they go for a Drill Peck, and now they bait to Alola Ninetales, and we do have the perfect answer to this Alola Ninetales. I think any charm lead or any charm user, and if you pair it up against Tentacruel, it's really going to demolish that fairy type. So we do definitely would want to shield Size Shock because it will be able to knock us out, but now we will be able to completely farm down the opposing Ninetales. And since we were so head on energy by farming that Ninetales down, we are able to throw this Hydro Pump onto the Empoleon, and yeah, Empoleon goes down. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, and let's see. So we are in a Gengar lead, so terrible matchup. I think since we are not running Ice Punch, it's like really bad for us. So I swap to Tentacruel. I really don't have a great answer to Gengar, because Gengar can have access to Shadow Ball, which will do massive amount of damage. But fortunately, they tried to go for a bait, and the opponent did a really great job in catching on this charge move onto the Registeel. So not really looking good for us, and I think they will be able to beat us to the charge move, which they do. I think they counted the poison jabs perhaps. So I go and invest a shield because I wanted to go for a Hydro Pump, or I decided to go for an acid spray, which if it does not land, it's going to be really bad for us. And it's like it's terrible that the opponent did not shield it. That potentially could have gone for a Hydro Pump there, but it's like really bad now because the opponent can safely swap to their Gengar and will pressure our shield or will be able to knock the Medicham out. Fortunately, they go for a Sludge Bomb, Shadow Punch. Maybe they're running Shadow Punch and Sludge Bomb. So if they are running that moveset, I think we can still pull back this from, but it's going to be really difficult since the Registeel has a lot of health with them. So going for this Flash Cannon, we are able to get rid of this Gengar at least. So the opponent had a lot of energy farmed, so they did count the poison jabs onto the off of the Tentacruel. And yeah, even though we will be able to throw this power punch and get the attack boosted, if they are running something like Bastardon in the back, it's going to be really good for us. But it ends up being a wing attack Charizard, and with 2 shields up, I think even if they shield this thing, this is basically GG. So yeah, if it was a Bastardon, it probably would have ended up favorable for us. But besides that, I didn't see any win condition. So yeah. Picking up another Gengar lead, so not getting lucky with the leads this time around. And this time I've swapped to Registeel because I was expecting the same thing, that for them to run Sludge Bomb, but it's a Shadow Ball variant, so not really looking good for us. So farming some extra energy and going for a Flash Cannon just in case they decide to let go of the Gengar. So the Gengar opts to shield, and yeah, I was just hoping and praying that they try to bait with a Shadow Punch, but they go for a Shadow Ball which knocks out the Registeel. Surprisingly, I was not expecting Shadow Ball to knock out at that range, but this is probably terrible for us because I tried to catch on a Shadow Punch there, but that did not happen. And in comes Ludicolo, so a Hydro Pump would be massively resisted. So I've decided to go for an Acid Spray. And Acid Spray is Acid Spray super effective? Yeah. So we are able to fortunately knock down or poison jab down the Ludicolo. Let's see what do they have. Or I think I'm expecting Gengar to come back in. Unfortunately, Gengar wins the CMP up against everything, so they go for a Shadow Punch. And yeah, Medicham is just going to get annihilated in the back. I think they are going to shield the charge move, or they don't. Yeah, they end up dumping both. I think they have got rid of both got rid of their energy, but they have a Charmer in the back. So yeah, tough luck out there, and I don't see really much happening in the Great League remix, to be honest, because I think it's really a stale meta, and I might end up being, returning to the Great League. What do you think of the Great League remix? Do let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Peace.